Hello everyone, welcome to TradexBulls. In today's video, we will be looking only at Nifty and Banknifty, the road ahead for both the indices before the budget. Before going ahead, please pause the video and read the disclaimer. Also, if you haven't joined our Telegram channel, then please go ahead and join our Telegram channel, the link for which is in the description down below. We also have a daily session where we interact with our members answering their queries. So without wasting much time, let's look at the Nifty chart first, and then we will move into Bank Nifty. We will also look at it in different time frames to understand how they are shaping up. So let's start with Nifty. Nifty, I think the previous time when we had made a video, it had given a breakout and there was a good rally from about 17,600 levels to 18,300, and then came the correction where it corrected about 1,200 points. So this was the breakout which Nifty gave, and then it actually came and did a retest for this particular trend line breakout. But what we can also see now in this is made a high. It was a low, and if you look at it from a positional point of view, Nifty has made a lower high now, and as of now, if this is the bottom for now, then it looks like a lower low. So it is probably forming a VCP. There is good contraction here as of now, is what is seen in Nifty in a daily time frame, right? If we move on to the lower time frames, it is pretty clear that Nifty has a lot of resistances on the upside, right? So this particular zone, if we can see the pink mark zone, this is going to be a zone of concern for Nifty, right? It's a very strong resistance like we've seen in the last week also. Once Nifty clears and breaks above this 17,380 to 400 zone, then it can give a clear 200-point move like as we've seen before. Even during the fall, it did not have much resistance here, and it just kept moving up in this particular zone, and even during the fall. So a close above 17,400 can open the doors for 17,600 very clearly for Nifty. But again, 17,600 to 630 will be a strong resistance for Nifty. Only if that is broken, and then we would be able to see higher moves to 17,800 and 18,000 plus. So once this is cleared, then it obviously will move up and try to retest this zone. But if we go back to a daily time frame, this is a very, very strong support for Nifty now. The low which was made during the correction last week, 16,800 from the chart, clearly is a very important low to be held on to. If this is broken, then this is the zone that we would be looking at. A break and close below 16,800 would definitely trigger a 200-point downfall very easily. And the main cause, the concern for bulls would be if Nifty manages to close below 16,600 or 16,500, this zone. If Nifty happens to close below this, then that would be a bigger concern for bulls, because it could clearly trigger a downside till easily levels of 16,400 and even till levels of 16,100. So we will have to see and analyze it step by step. There cannot, given budget, there will be a lot of volatility. You also have to take in mind the OI data is showing a lot of OI change in 15,800 PE as well as 19,500 C around these ranges. So imagine the volatility that could be seen during the budget. It is, for newbies, it is better to not trade during the budget sessions, especially the index, because there could be high volatility and stop losses could be triggered both sides. But to understand it from a positional point of view, you will have to take these important zones into consideration. This is also acting as a support, the trend line here. So it has to break this support, and then it would in all likeliness come down to 16,600, and only if this is broken below 16, a close is given below 16,600 or this region, will more downside targets come. So Nifty basically has a lot of resistances on the upside. Moves could be within this range for now, and given budget, this is it's obvious that the volatility is going to be really high in both the indices. So With Nifty, we'll also check Bank Nifty. We will see how Bank Nifty is um, placed at this point of time. So we'll, even for Bank Nifty, we will start from a weekly, and then we will come back to the lower time frames. So this is a trend line which is holding Bank Nifty from about 1.5 years, right? So this trend line here again is of importance, right? If after this trend line, if we are looking at this particular zone from say about 21st December 2020, there is another trend line which is taking support. So this was a very strong confluence of support, I would say, where Bank Nifty took some support here and gave a good bounce from this 34,000 region. So even going forward, there are a couple of zones where Bank Nifty has to clearly breach for it to see some good downside movement, because both these trend lines are acting from say about a year and a year and a half. So it wouldn't be easy from a positional point of view to clear this. Yes, there could be big wicks on the downside and triggering bias from here. And Bank Nifty can be really, really volatile given during the budget. Any news related move can cause big moves here. So on the downside, it has good support. If we go to the lower time frames of say daily, and we will even look at hourly and 15-minute charts in Bank Nifty to understand what it does. It's clear if you see that this zone here, which is acting, if you want me to extend this zone, it's a clear zone where there is active buyers and sellers. There is good resistance here. Once it broke down and it tried to move this particular zone, it was not able to clear this zone and give a strong up move. So going forward with Bank Nifty, it's pretty clear the levels. Once it gives a closing above 38,800 odd, the doors are clearly open for 40,000 and 41,000, even till 41,000. But your first levels would be 40,000 if it gives you a closing above this zone, right? A 38,800 zone. But I would say even a closing above 38,400, which it was not able to do, the high on Friday, if it gives a closing above this, it could give you a clear 300, 350 point move, which has to be broken. You can see the highs of these candles. These candle highs have a lot of importance here as well. So it needs that drive. Probably budget could also give that impetus for Bank Nifty to move forward. In all likeliness, it would be Bank Nifty which has to drive Nifty. Yes, because Nifty does have a lot of resistances on the upside. So if Nifty has to really give a glaring move, it has to be Bank Nifty which is doing most of the job. And even if you look at this, it on the downside for Bank Nifty, just note that till this zone, I think Bank Nifty till 36,000. Let me mark the levels till this zone, or say probably even till here 36,200 zones, it is fine. But once it closes below this level, right, the weekly lows, the daily lows of this level, your stock, the index could come down till 35,600. But the main downfall will only be triggered if it breaches these trend lines which have been acting for more than a year, right? So even if there is volatility, if there is any dip till here, there should be good support here, and panic will only be triggered here below these levels. Because if you see, Bank Nifty is following this particular channel for the past year, 1 year. So this is where it took support and moved up, and for a clear move it has to go above this, and it also has to clear this particular zone. So once Bank Nifty gets a clear up move from 38,800, it could clearly give you a 1,200 point move, which means it could also take Nifty higher. If you look at it from lower time frame, early time frame, again the zone which we were talking from the higher time frames, right, the daily, this is where it started, and then when it came down, it was not able to breach this zone. With respect to current price action, it is making a higher high and a higher low sort of formation. If this has to be continued a higher, this is a sort of a bullish sign near a resistance. If it just continues to have that sort of momentum and breaks this and then continues upwards, then this will give a really good move. Even on a 15-minute time frame, I think Bank Nifty, again, it succumbed to pressure on Friday near this zone, right? So this is where it was moving in, a zone where it was getting rejected multiple times, even in the past. So there's clear signs for Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty's levels are pretty evident here. So once it clears above this 38,400, we are going to see about a 300-400 point rally, which is highly likely. But the major move in Bank Nifty would come if it closes above 38,800 to 900. It could clearly give you a 1,200 point move till 40,000. And once it closes above 40,000, you could see there's hardly any resistance here till 41,000. Right. So these are the two indexes. We'll be just talking about these two indexes for today, because around the budget, the overall structure and the sentiment of the market is more important rather than looking at stocks individually. Again, I repeat, if you're a new trader, this is not the time to try your hand, especially in index and Nifty and Bank Nifty trading. Rather, you can watch and observe how these movements are made. You can also make note of these levels and see how these levels are respected and how big moves come when these levels are broken on the higher or lower side. Right. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do like our videos, please like, share, and comment. Thank you. Until we meet for the next time.